I call to order the June 2026 meeting of the Academic Health Committee of the University of Minnesota Board of Regents. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to those who are joining us via live stream video and those attending here in the boardroom. Let me first welcome our student representatives today. Danielle Arrere from the Rochester campus, who's joining us virtually, and Ethan Ellis from the Twin Cities campus, who's here with us at the circle. Thank you for being here and for your service this year. As we begin today, I want to welcome our Regent colleagues who are not members of the Academic Health Committee, but are joining us at the Horseshoe today. Thank you for being here. Vice Chair Goldberg-Luger and I welcome your participation in this important discussion today. That said, a note about the procedure. When we get to the point of the meeting where we vote on the resolution, only those regents who serve on the Academic Health Committee will vote. Tomorrow, and when I report out our committee's recommendations, all regents will vote on the final action. Our only agenda item today is to review and act on the resolution approving the proposed definitive agreements between the University of Minnesota Physicians and Fairview Health Services. This is a historic day in the life of the university. Together with our partners, we are forging a new relationship for the betterment of Minnesotans, the nation, yes, even the world. Let me extend the committee's warm welcome to Attorney General Keith Ellison, University of Minnesota Physician CEO Greg Bielman, and Fairview President and CEO James Hereford. Thank you all for being here and for your work, together with President Cunningham and Interim Vice President Bradford, and so many others to make this day possible. Since the beginning of these negotiations, the university has been guided by our commitment to serving our patients, our talented students who will join Minnesota's future healthcare workforce, and our tremendous faculty and staff who every day advance our mission to improve the health of Minnesota. While negotiations were at times hard, that reflects the commitment of each of us, Fairview, University of Minnesota Physicians, and the university, and what we did to get this right. The new master agreement with UMP and the academic affiliation agreement with Fairview affirm and support our critical partnership in advancing excellent medical education, groundbreaking research, and amazing clinical care. The agreements will bring the stability needed to advance solutions to Minnesota's most urgent health and healthcare needs. Since 1851, and many may notice that we're wearing our 175-year pins today, it's a long time. Our mission as Minnesota's land-grant university has been to serve the people of our state, the nation, and the world. These agreements will carry us forward in this critical work now for generations to come. Let me also express the committee's deep appreciation for the work of our mediators, retired Judge Tom Fraser, Lois Quam, and Dr. William McGuire, who stepped forward to ensure that the interests of all parties were given proper consideration and are reflected in these new agreements. The Board of Regents worked closely with President Cunningham, Interim Executive Vice President Bradford, and General Counsel Peterson to provide advice and counsel in support of this effort. And at some point, every regent played a critical role in getting us to today. As a board, we work tirelessly to support our team, reach across to our partners, and refocus all of us on the critical need to arrive at an agreement that ensured the university is able to fulfill the mission given to us by the people of Minnesota. Thank you, colleagues, and let me provide a special thanks to Vice Chair Goldberg-Luger and Regent Hines for their support. With that, President Cunningham, would you like to offer your comments?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. It is a good day here at the Horseshoe. In Minnesota, we are making health and healthcare stronger, and we're doing it together in partnership with the University of Minnesota Physicians and Fairview Health Services. I'd like to begin by thanking my colleagues, Dr. James Hereford, President and CEO of Fairview Health Services, and Dr. Greg Bielman, CEO of University of Minnesota Physicians. I'm very grateful to both of you. Your commitment to our collaboration, your mutual compromise, and your focus on improving Minnesota's health and healthcare is invaluable. Our agreement with UMP ensures that our medical school and faculty practice organization have a sustainable, modern framework for success, and that our shared governance is clear. And our agreement with Fairview affirms our shared goals and Fairview's financial commitment to the university's academic health mission. These were highly complex negotiations that required compromise from all parties, and your leadership and resolve helped us to reach the finish line. I look forward to forging a new chapter amongst our three organizations as we work together to educate the next generation of health professionals, advance life-saving discoveries, and improve health and healthcare for Minnesota patients. I'd also like to thank Attorney General Keith Ellison and the mediators he appointed. The Honorable Thomas Frazier, Lois Quam, and Dr. Bill McGuire, thank you very much. Your support was essential as we worked towards these agreements. You played a critical role in getting us to today and to delivering the successful outcome for the state of Minnesota. Thank you also to University of Minnesota legal team led by Counsel Doug Peterson. He and his group have worked tirelessly to support our discussions and our work together. I also want to share my gratitude with Dr. Carol Bradford, our Interim Executive Vice President for Health Affairs and Interim Dean at the Medical School. During the past 5 months, we have all benefited from your mission-driven focus and collaboration, insights, and expertise. I'm honored to be your partner, grateful for your counsel, and we look forward as you lead us forward in this new journey. Finally, I want to thank all the members of the Minnesota Board of Regents, certainly our board leadership, who spent countless hours regularly, Regents Lugar, Regents Hines, and all of you who spent time providing your input, your steadfast support, and your guidance, which was invaluable. For more than 175 years, and we do have these pins on today, the Universities of Minnesota's land-grant mission has been to serve the people of Minnesota and our state. These agreements will allow us to continue that legacy and ensure that together the University of Minnesota Physicians, Fairview Health Services, and the University of Minnesota make health and healthcare in Minnesota even stronger than it is today. With that, Chair Johnson, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President Cunningham. I now invite Attorney General Ellison, President and CEO Hereford, and CEO Bielman to the presenters table. Please proceed. Attorney General Ellison, welcome, and please proceed.
Well, as a 1990 alumnus of this university, I'm very proud to be here, and thank you all for having us. And Chair Hubish, Vice Chairs Johnson and Wheeler, members of the Board of Regents, and especially President Cunningham, congratulations on this excellent result for the university, my university. President Hereford, congratulations on the excellent result for Fairview. Dr. Bielman, allow me to congratulate you and your whole team on this excellent result for the University of Minnesota Physicians. I also want to congratulate the 5.8 million Minnesotans because it's an excellent result for all of us. These agreements allow patients to continue to receive world-class care, often highly specialized, through this partnership. They allow for the training of the next generation of clinicians, continued groundbreaking research and innovation. I'm especially pleased that your agreement also includes new work to benefit Minnesotans in rural areas, with a goal of increasing the likelihood that they will receive timely diagnosis and necessary care for complex medical conditions. It is imperative that they and all Minnesotans have access to quality care no matter where they live. And I'm grateful to you for all recognizing and acting creatively on this imperative. You know, there's a fiction writer who I used to like to read named Mary Pearson. Mary Pearson has written, "Sometimes there's not a better way, there's only the hard way."
Okay.
Everyone in this room today is aware that reaching this point was neither easy or quick. It was the hard way, but it was also the right way. Each of you represented critical institutions that you had to advocate for, and that's just the way it is. Thank you and your teams for staying at the table and taking the hard way, for working through difficult issues in service of a larger goal and the greater good. By doing so, you reaffirm something important about Minnesota. Even in complex and challenging circumstances, it is possible to get big things done. You reaffirm that together, and we take the right, and we take it that way, that right way. In this, you all led by example. By example. I also want to thank Governor Walz and his staff for keeping close communication with all of you, for stepping in at critical moments to make sure that the talk stayed on track and kept moving in the right direction, and also giving me important and necessary advice and encouragement. Finally, I want to thank and congratulate the people on my team who are not in this room today, but it's safe to say without whom none of us might not be in this room today. Retired Judge Tom Frazier, Dr. Bill McGuire, and our deeply skilled and experienced mediators who helped lead us through these final months. Assistant Attorney General Elizabeth Odette, who heads our antitrust division in my office, who has become more versed in healthcare transactions law than most people ever will be. Except for maybe Doug Peterson. And I especially want to thank our strategic facilitator, Lois Quam, who guided this process on a day-to-day basis since day one. She always kept her eyes on the prize of getting to an agreement for the benefit of the people of Minnesota, and she did it through deep knowledge, clear communications, great diplomatic skill, and the good old-fashioned Minnesota stick-to-itiveness. So here we are on a new day for Minnesota with these completed agreements that create the basis for a fresh start in your partnerships and a fresh start as you reimagine how we can improve the health and well-being of all Minnesotans. I must note that this deal comes together at a time when healthcare in Minnesota, which has always been nation-leading, is experiencing some uncertainty due to significant policy changes, debilitating cost shifting coming from Washington, rising costs in many areas, and other sources of instability. We should not underestimate the significance of these agreements as a beacon of stability. They set a solid foundation on which we are working to stabilize all parts of Minnesota's healthcare infrastructure. And allow me to conclude by saying that I, representing the Minnesota Attorney General's office, we're not going anywhere. We pledge to stay by your side and help you through any of the challenge that the future may bring. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney General Ellison. Your leadership throughout this process has been so incredibly helpful to reach today, and eyes on the prize. I love that. That's good. Next, let me welcome you, President and CEO Hereford. Thank you for your work through the years to advance the co-missions of Fairview and the university. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair Johnson, members of the Board of Regents Academic Healthcare Committee, and other regents present today. Thank you for the invitation to be here. It's gratifying. Before I go through the rest of my remarks, I do want to express my appreciation for Attorney General Ellison, and especially for Lois Quam, who's has all the attributes that Attorney General cited, along with a level of optimism that I think was completely unwarranted at many times. But yet she persisted. You know, that leadership, that persistence, that commitment to Minnesota helped create the conditions for these agreements to come together. I also want to thank the leaders of M Physicians, particularly Dr. Greg Beelman, who never wavered when it came to putting patients and faculty first. And lastly, I want to thank my Fairview team, who spent countless hours working through difficult issues to reach this point. They kept their focus on Fairview's mission, Minnesota's future, and the patients who's our privilege to be able to serve every day. The last several years have involved important conversations about the future of healthcare delivery in Minnesota. Today's agreements allow us to move forward with great clarity and stability in support of what has always mattered most, caring for patients, along with the investment in the future through education and the next generation of healthcare professionals and advancing research and discovery. Last November, Fairview and M Physicians established a strategic partnership agreement that created long-term certainty around our clinical relationship. Today's agreements build on that foundation, providing clarity around teaching and research activities and securing the long-term future of the care that's delivered in the Minneapolis Clinics and Surgery Center. Together, these agreements create a framework for how we can work together. And I want to emphasize that. I think this is a true turning of the page, and my sincere hope is that now we can focus, as the Attorney General referenced, this is not an issue-free environment from a healthcare delivery perspective. There are many challenges. I think the combination of our three organizations coming together provide us a real opportunity to provide leadership at this critical time of healthcare delivery. Throughout this process, Fairview has been guided by a simple belief. Our purpose is in delivering the best care for our patients. And to do that, we must have a great environment for our clinical staff to deliver care. Across Fairview employed providers, independent community physicians, and university faculty physicians, they share a common commitment to serving patients and advancing healthcare in Minnesota. Fairview understands the unique benefits of academic medicine. I know I do. We remain committed to providing a strong clinical platform where university faculty can teach, train, conduct research, and care for patients. We remain committed to supporting the educational research missions that have made Minnesota a national leader in healthcare and discovery. We believe in high standards of care and in supporting employees who are proud to come to work each and every day. At the same time, healthcare faces significant challenges. Every health system in the country is navigating workforce pressures, reimbursement challenges, rising costs, and growing demands for access. This agreement provides the stability and clarity that allow us to be better prepared to meet those challenges that we're going to face. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is not about agreements. It's about patients receiving exceptional care. It is about learners preparing for careers in healthcare. It is about faculty advancing new treatments. It is about supporting the physicians and nurses and all of the people who go into making a strong healthcare system. Fairview operates at the center of the state's healthcare ecosystem as a major provider of care, a training environment, and a critical source of stability for patients and communities across the state. The best partnerships are not defined by the agreements themselves. They're defined by what those agreements make possible. Today, we have the opportunity to move beyond negotiations and keep our attention where it belongs, caring for patients, educating future healthcare professionals, advancing research and discovery, and strengthening healthcare for the people of Minnesota. We're proud of Fairview's role as an anchor institution of Minnesota's healthcare future. We look forward to continuing our work together with shared purpose, a strong foundation for the decade ahead in service to the people of Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, President and CEO Hereford, for your thoughtful and insightful comments. And now, CEO Bielman, welcome. Thank you for your service as a member of our faculty and your continued leadership of UMP.
Chair Johnson, Vice Chair Lugar, Regent members of the committee, and Regent guests, we appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and I appreciate being able to represent my organization, the University of Minnesota Physicians. With the anticipated completion of the University of Minnesota Physicians Master Agreement with the University of Minnesota, in addition to the university's academic affiliation agreement with our colleagues from Fairview, we anticipate great things ahead of us. Your engagement and support and influence in getting us to this point is greatly appreciated, and I appreciate the input and assistance of many of you around, as President Cunningham said, the horseshoe over the last 6 months. Thank you. I want to recognize Attorney General Ellison, a person who recognized the importance of this relationship to the people of Minnesota and the importance of the doctors that I serve in getting us to an agreement at the end of the day. I want to thank Lois Quam, Judge Thomas Frazier, and Dr. Bill McGuire for their help in dragging us to talk when we didn't want to talk, working with us to compromise when we didn't want to compromise, and ultimately getting us to where we needed to get. Your counsel, your steadfast commitment to the people of the state of Minnesota and the importance of the work that we do has helped us reach this point. I'm not done with thanks yet. First, I want to thank James Hereford. As I've said many times, James, I don't know where my university ends and my Fairview begins, The partnership with Fairview is core to what we do as university physicians. That relationship must continue. To my university colleagues, President Cunningham, Vice President Bradford, I want to thank you for your persistence in helping us get to this point. Together, with help from others, we brought this process to a productive conclusion for those that we are all here to serve: our patients, our communities, our physician faculty, the advanced practice providers, and many, many others. We are on a positive path forward, and our patients, learners, and clinicians are going to benefit from this path moving forward for the next decade of this agreement and into the future. My colleagues and I are excited to direct the energy that all of us have spent over the last year and use it to benefit our patients and the people of the state of Minnesota into the future. As has already been alluded to by my two colleagues, Minnesota needs more from all of us. There are many challenges ahead. The people of Minnesota rightly expect us to fulfill our promise to care for our neighbors, to discover and deliver advancements in how to care for our neighbors better, to recruit and retain others to work with us and take care of me as I get into my old dotage, and to ensure that Minnesota retains its reputation as a leader in the delivery of healthcare. UMP and our teams are ready and already working to bring the medical school's 138-year legacy of service to our patients to fuel innovation and care for the future. There is mutual benefit for all of us when we work together and show that we can work together well. I am excited to realize all that we can do together into the future. To quote Attorney General Ellison, big things. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Beelman, for your reflections, and again to all three of you for your comments. We really appreciate that. Next, I'll ask Interim Executive Vice President Bradford to walk us through the agreements.
Chair Johnson and Vice Chair Goldberg, Lugar, and members of the board, thank you. As we all recognize, today truly represents an important milestone for the University of Minnesota, our medical school, our health sciences colleges, our faculty, our staff, our learners, and ultimately the people of Minnesota. As we have heard over the last several months, years, much of the discussion surrounding our clinical partnerships has understandably focused on negotiations, governance structures, and contractual relationships. These conversations were necessary, but I believe it is equally important to step back and focus on what these agreements make possible. At their core, these agreements are about preserving and strengthening the university's and all of our collective academic health mission. As we've heard, for more than 175 years, the University of Minnesota has served this state through education, research, and public service. In healthcare, that mission comes to life through the education of future physicians and healthcare professionals, the discovery of new treatments and cures, improving the health of communities, and the delivery of highly specialized care for Minnesotans with the most complex health and healthcare needs. The agreements before you provide a framework that allows us to continue that work with greater clarity, stability, and alignment. The new master agreement with the University of Minnesota physicians strengthens our partnerships so that through strong collaboration, we can best support the university's vital research, education, and clinical missions. Our faculty physicians occupy a unique role, as we've heard. They are educators, researchers, and clinicians. Their ability to excel in all three missions depends on a strong and sustainable relationship between the medical school and our faculty practice organization. This agreement ensures our medical school and faculty practice organization have a sustainable modern framework for success. It details the University of Minnesota physicians' commitment to support the medical school's research and education missions, including financial support, and we are so very grateful for that support. It also clarifies our shared governance structure, providing a key university leadership role for the CEO of University of Minnesota Physicians, and also a crucial fiduciary role for, yes, yours truly, the EVPHA Dean of the on the University of Minnesota Physicians Board. In addition, the university will have nomination rights for 3 UMP board members. As part of this new chapter, we agree to enter into a new trademark license and branding agreement that will reflect the excellence and distinctiveness of our University of Minnesota physicians, which we anticipated will be presented to the Board of Regents later this year. The academic affiliation agreement with Fairview establishes long-term financial support for the medical school's education and research missions, and again, we are very, very grateful for that support, and affirms the central role of the university in training the next generation of health professionals and advancing scientific discovery. Further, the agreement defines a shared framework to advance high-quality medical and health professional education and research that will improve and save lives of Minnesotans and beyond. Fairview, again, gratefully, we are grateful for your commitment to significant capital investments in facilities located on the university campus. These investments are critical to ensuring that our patients, learners, faculty, and your and our staff have access to the facilities necessary to support world-class care, education, and research. Finally, these agreements create a foundation for what comes next. As we have heard, the healthcare environment facing Minnesota and our country is changing rapidly. Workforce shortages persist. Rural communities continue to face access challenges. Research funding is increasingly competitive. Patients expect care that is more coordinated, accessible, and innovative. These agreements do not solve all of these challenges. What they do provide is the stability, structure, and partnership so that we can address these challenges together. During my first few months at the university, I have seen firsthand the extraordinary impact this university has on the health of the state, whether in the Twin Cities, Duluth, St. Cloud, Rochester, or any community throughout greater Minnesota. People look to the University of Minnesota to educate the workforce, advance discovery, and provide expertise that no other university or institution can provide. These agreements position us to continue to fulfill that responsibility for decades to come. I also want to personally thank President Cunningham, Attorney General Ellison, Dr. Beelman, Dr. James Hereford, General Counsel Doug Peterson and his amazing team, Chris Gade and his team, our amazing mediators, retired Judge Tom Frazier, Lois Quam, Dr. Bill McGuire, our amazing Board of Regents, and our entire community who supported a new member of the University of Minnesota community and allowed me to participate actively in realizing these important agreements. So many people have worked tirelessly to allow us to reach this point and I am so very grateful to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, EVP Bradford and Interim Dean Bradford, Doctor. We appreciate that very much. And before we turn to a motion and discussion, I'll just note that we will be considering the revised resolution that's included in the docket materials for all the regions. Now, we'll get a motion on the floor. I remind you that only committee members, that is Academic Health Committee members, can make a motion and vote today. Is there a motion to recommend approval of the resolution related to the 2027 definitive agreements between the University of Minnesota Physicians, and Fairview Health Services?
So moved.
Big time.
Okay, is there?
Can I second it?
Oh, okay, I think that counts. We got a couple seconds. Thank you. And then now to start our discussion, I'll turn first to Vice Chair Goldberg Luger.
Thank you so much, Chair Johnson, and thank you for your leadership of this committee as we mark this absolutely watershed moment for our university. Let me also extend my thanks to Attorney General Keith Ellison, UMP CEO Dr. Greg Bielman, and Fairview President and CEO Dr. James Hereford, along with President Cunningham, Interim Executive Vice President Bradford, General Counsel Peterson, and everyone who has made today possible. I also want to extend my gratitude to members of both the UMP and Fairview boards. I appreciate the conversations, the connections that we have made through this process, and look forward to working to rebuild trust and advance our partnership together. Our world-class medical school has personally impacted many Minnesotans, including many physicians in this room. I'm not a physician, but there are 11 members of my family that were trained, did their residency, and taught at the University of Minnesota Medical School. One of those physicians helped start a training program at the medical school, which is recognized today as the world leader in its subspecialty. I grew up making rounds with these doctors. I've witnessed the research, the patient care, and teaching of medical school students that has transformed the lives of so many. For these reasons, and the belief I have in the transformative power of academic medicine, I am forever grateful and pleased by the work all of you have done together to reach this outcome. I also want to note there has been a prolonged period of uncertainty for our students, our researchers, our staff, and faculty. And I'm sure, I hope, I speak for all of us in expressing our deep gratitude for your continued dedication to our mission as we navigated these negotiations. Thank you, and thank you for staying the course. I look forward, as Lois does, to a very bright future for our medical school, our university, our partnerships with Fairview and UMP, and to helping meet the healthcare needs of people near and far. Thank you, Executive Vice President of Health Services, Bradford, for your describing in more detail this agreement, and I am 1,000% in favor.
Thank you, Vice Chair Goldberg Luger, for that. With that, I'll ask if, first of all, are there any questions from Academic Health Committee members at this time?
I just comment.
Regent Turner.
Comment.
Comments.
As a frontline worker, still am ICU nurse, night shift, I am, on the front line, we don't often think about all the headwinds that are coming to healthcare. I mean, we're anxious, but we're never quite, we're just worried about getting through our shift and making sure we give the best care possible to our patients. I'm in this unique position to appreciate all of the work that all of the you do a great job of saying all the titles. I'm just, you know who you are. But realizing just how important it is at this level for you all to hang tight and keep our healthcare together. Because, you know, at the end of the day, if you're not doing that job, then we risk of not being able to do our job, which, you know, as a nurse, I think is one of the most important jobs ever. But I want to thank all of you, all the parties, for going through the good times and the bad. Hopefully you had a few good times while doing this, but no, I can't stress enough how much all of the front line should show their appreciation to all of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Regent and RN Turner. Appreciate that. Highly qualified comment. Are there other comments or questions?
I'll make a brief comment, but I'm just so pleased that we're here today. I'm kind of hardly believing that I'm sitting in the seat and getting to where we really wanted to get to for so long. And I just appreciate so much having been somebody who's actually can understand the perspectives of each, having been a healthcare organization leader like James, having been a physician leader like Greg, having been a triple gopher and now sitting on this board, like everybody else, understand the position of all. And to Attorney General Ellison's comments, it was challenging getting here, but I do think it builds on a win for all parties in what the win can be for the state of Minnesota. Now we've got all the lattice work that's needed to actually really build something spectacular, and I'm counting on us to do so. So thanks to everybody. It really did take a village, and I'm really appreciative of all the tremendous efforts involved. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Regent Wheeler. Any other comments from committee members? Non-committee members, other members of the board who aren't on the Academic Health Committee? Comments or questions? Regent Hipsch.
I'll just say briefly, I'm not going to mention everybody's names because we have to take too long, but I just want to say, you know, thank you for this partnership. And with the partnership, that means we're partners, and the people in this room have the ability to make this thing really work for the people of Minnesota, and I appreciate that. And I'll do whatever I have to do to help make this work. There's an old saying, when you dial 911, they don't come out of Washington, okay? So we have to take care of ourselves. You know, we have to take care of ourselves here, and we have to be a team, and I know sometimes the negotiations got a little tough and whatever, but we have a declining revenue stream, and that hurts all of us, you know, and we're all faced with that. So, but together, I know we can come up with the solutions we need to. So thank you to the people in this room, and especially to A.G. Ellison for putting us all together. I can't thank you enough, so thanks.
Thank you, Regent Hipsch. Are there any further comments or questions, discussion? Seeing none, no further discussion, we appear ready to vote. As a reminder, today, only Academic Health Committee members should vote at this point. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. The motion is approved. There being no additional business before the committee, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Wow.
Thank you.